Di ya di da di mai ya ya da di da di da di mai ya di da ma di ay ya ay ya di da di mai ya mai da maya da maya da ay maya da ay da ya di da mai ya ya di mai ya I especially started with the Chassidische Nigen. You're all aware that Chassidische Farbrengen is not someone comes and he delivers a sermon or whether, so to speak, a droshe and goes away, begape yovi, begape yetze. That's not an idea of Chassidische Farbrengen. That's an Chassidische Farbrengen. You know what the Alter Rebbe said on Chassidische Farbrengen? That it could pale issues, that Malach Mechol cannot have such a power as a power of Chassidische Farbrengen. Chassidische Farbrengen is, we need not getting together closely with Avos Yisrael, as the Posuk says, Oz nidbaru yiri Hashem ishel reyehu. And if you notice, it doesn't say dibru. Nidbaru means sich zusammenreden. Not he speaks, he lets someone else to speak. Obviously not Vorim B'Teilim. Oz nidbaru yiri Hashem ishel reyehu. And Vayoch Hashem is listening and smiling. I wanted to tell in general, it is Ashgocha Protis. By me is easier for bringing Mamelosh in Yiddish, but a pledge is a pledge. He said, I told the Fartik, sein gut. Say, B'diavad is sein gut as he. B'diavad is sein gut l'ratchile. But it's Ashgocha Protis. You know what Ashgocha Protis is? The Alter Rebbe, when he was released, he made a pledge. He made a pledge that he will go to the Gdili Hador and discuss, talk over with them, to be Mikarev them, to take away the Hisnagdus. In one of the Gdili Hador, few of them, Rabbi Shechaim, it was Rabbi Shua Zeitlin, Chayfetz, Agoyin Chayfetz, and they asked him a few questions. They asked the Rabbi, where are you taking the idea that we have to daven and learn only with fear and with fear and with love, otherwise it doesn't go up. You know what the Baal Shem Tov once went in a shul, he came in a shul, he said, is this a shul full of Torah Vaveda? They thought it is a compliment. It was not such a great compliment. He meant to say that the Torah Vaveda stays here, it has to go up. Where are you getting the idea? So he said, the Zohar HaKadosh says, Beli tchilu chimu, Beli tchilu chimu, it doesn't go up. So he said, being a great goyin, but not so close to Hasidus, he said, but this is mysticism. Kabbalah, I need something, bring me a Gemara, Rebbe. It's a Gemara you need. There's a Gemara. And the Gemara says, a Gemara in Psochim, the Gemara says, the Gemara is asking, once it says, Godel ad shomayim chazdecho. Rebbeinu Shalom, your chesed is ad shomayim, till the heavens. Another posuk says, meyal shomayim chazdecho. Even behind, above. So the Gemara says it depends. Eisim Yahweh, Leisim Yahweh, depends. So you see, it's open the Gemara. And then he asked him, Rebbe, where do you take the idea? This is the Baal Shem Tov, Heichel Baal Shem Tov. And the Shita of Baal Shem Tov about Hashgocha Protis. You know what Hashgocha Protis is, you all know. And the Shita of Baal Shem Tov is that Hashgocha Protis is not only on Minam Laber, especially for Klal Yisrael. Hashgocha Protis is for even anything. Not even Minam Laber, even on the animalistic, even on the daimim. A leaf in the street from one place to the other with Hashgocha Protis. Where do you see that? Where do you find it? Psamokia, a Gemara. Where's the Gemara? Since the Gemara says in Chulin, Daf Samar Gimel, the Gemara says, Rabbi Yochanan was standing by the edge of a river and he was watching a sholoch. Do you know what a sholoch is? What is a sholoch in English? I told you, I'm more Englishman than me. You know, a sholoch is a kind. I was once by the Botanic Gardens, and I saw it's a certain kind of bird, but alone, and it stays still, and waits and waits and waits, and then picks up a fischele and fertig. It doesn't pick up any fischele. It stays. If you notice, sholoch, Rashi says, sholoch is sheile dogi min hayom. So Rabbi Yochanan was watching it, and when you saw that sholoch picking up a fischele, says, Rebbeinu Shalom, a great are you just, mishpotecho tehem rabo, which means thousands of fish are passing by. No, this is the fish that had to be caught. Hashgocha Protis. So you could eat so much more. We need are getting together, and we come and we Farbrengen together. And like Boemer, for sure Hashgocha Protis. It's pre-planned. You know, the Rebbe Rayaz, the father-in-law of the Rebbe didn't like when we said previous Rebbe. The Rebbe didn't like the previous Rebbe. Rebbe is Rebbe. So the father-in-law of the Rebbe Rayaz, when he was in Eretz Yisrael in 1929, before he departed, he said, Amayim Chasidus. And this is based on what it says. The Gemara says, Eretz, and that is a posik. Eretz leyova boyish. It's a land that no one even passed by. Midbar Sahara. V'leyoshav odem shom, and no one is residing there. So the Gemara says, what is this? If you say it is so wild that even leyova boyish, For surely Yosef Odom Shom. So the Gemara says, Kol Eretz, why do we see some land, populated, cities, Yeshuvim, and some Midbarot? Everything is pre-planned. Kol Eretz Shigozer Leodom Arishon LeYishuv, Nis Yashva. And if Odom Arishon LeGozer LeYishuv, Le Nis Yashva. And the Rebbe explains in the Maimer, Odom Arishon. Odom Arishon is referring to Odom Kadmor. If you heard that expression, Odom Kadmor. So, the Shechina. Prepare, if it is said out before, in what's the Pshata Le'ishuv. For example, we see some cities, Baruch Hashem, full with Mosdot HaTorah, with Bote Knisiyot, Bote Midrashot. This is a Eretz Shigozer LeYishuv. Yishuv ben Asher Yoshev Odom Shom. Odom is referring to Eden. Atem Kruim Odom. And if it is there's wild, which means it could have an indoor and an outdoor pool. You can slam on Mishugin Lem. Zamidbo. You know, the Rabbi Shalom said by the creation, would you behave yourself? Fine. If not, I'll make you. I'll tell you away. I'll make you. No, so I was wondering sometimes, you come to Nebraska, they don't know Atzuras Aleph, but I don't see that they should live like Ateo Aveyu. They have indoor pool and outdoor pool, and they live like our poets with all the comforts. But the life is Ateo Aveyu life. But anyway, a life of Yishuv ben Yodom, Losheves Odom, that it should be a place for the Odom Ho'elyin. This was pre-planned. The Niden are getting together, and they hear at Vartere, going to Bote Knisiyos, Bote Midrashis. So you're making it a Meshav Odom. It's a place for the Shechina. You understand? So that's the meaning of a person. You have the koach. You take from a midbar. Are you familiar with the pasuk? Vayose midbaro ki Eden. Remember that pasuk? The Rabbi Shalom gives a kayach to all of us. We should take a midbar and make it a Gan Eden. Varvose ki Gan Hashem. So anyway, everything is Ashgora Protis. So it's Ashgora Protis, we should get together. And we are getting together on a special social day as Lag BaOmer. And we are trying to uplift ourselves, to be Niseira B'tshuva. So definitely, Vayakshiv Hashem Vayishmo. So Rabbi Shalom, we should help that the schus of the Rashbi, was, we could see that the Rashbi, I saw that it says in that the Rachaim HaKodesh, when he went Lag BaOmer, one of the great Chachmei Rabboni Tzfas from Amol, Sfardik Rabbonim, is testifying. Rav Shmuel Heller is writing about it, that when the Rachaim HaKadosh went to Lag BaOmer, to the Rashbi, and he went on his, not on his Mercedes, on his Chamor. And he went on his Chamor, and then when he came halfway, he went down for the cover of Rashbi. He went down from the Chamor, and he started to climb on all four. And he was screaming out, "Who am I? Such a barrier, have a schus to go to Kodesh HaKodoshim. Where Kutchibrich and all Pamalyo is there." You hear? The Rachaim HaKadosh. On the other hand, you gave a look yesterday, I'm sure some of you, on the, call it whatever you want, WhatsApp, but you saw the dancing and the songs and the elevation on the scene of the Rashbi. Mom, you could see the Shechina there. And it was not exactly people like the Or HaChaim HaKadosh. People of all kinds. And the Rabbi is accepting them. The Rabbi came out once from the cave together with his son after so many years. And they were so holy and so elevated that whatever they gave a glance, it started to burn. They couldn't stand it. What kind of world is it? Are you still in Gashmis? You still have in mind the Taivis Gashmim, Yonim Gashmim? Couldn't stand it. But then the Rabbi saw an old man running. Stop. Where are you running? I'm Yankel. He had two hadassim in his hand. Do you remember that, huh? He said, one is for Shamor, and one is for Zachor. Lekovet Shabbos Kedesh, I'm carrying flowers to my wife. So he said to his son, no, what do you say now? Ein Kadosh, ein Zokter Ki Am Yisrael. So you see the Abba from Rabbi. So we are getting together in such a day, and we have a Yisvadus Hasidim. So definitely the schus of the day, the schus of the Rabbi HaKadosh, Yogen Olein of Al Kol Yisrael, and it says there, it says in Sefer Hasidim and it says in Psikno, when we are getting together on Lag BaOmer and we speak about the Rabbi, and so then the schus of the Rabbi is making on us, and bon Chaim Zeine Revire, Chaim L'Chaim. Also dir, was wir gedacht mir haben. Ich gehe an den Teil. Nein, was ist die Frage? Du kommst da oft?
No, sie kommt, ich komme.
Ja, und dann noch am 13.
Noch zurück, because er hat Menschen.
Ja, ihr seid noch nicht great.
Ja, mit der Schamme so.
Ja. Am 13. Jahr. Nu sing some about the Rabbi something, sing. Wo ist dein Bismedrisch?
Ja, ich war dabei.
Hat er geglaubt da? Wenn ich weiß, wollte ich nicht gekommen. So, er wollte dir, was er für mich. Baruch Elokeinu Shebronu Lichvedei Baruch Elokeinu Shebronu Lichvedei Baruch Elokeinu Shebronu Lichvedei Ay Lichvedei Ay Adidam Shebronu Lichvedei Adidam Shebronu Ay Baruch Elokeinu Shebronu Lichvedei Ay v'hivdilon min nateyim v'hivdilon nateyim v'hivdilon min nateyim Ay adidam ay Adidam, Adidam, I give the lano minate, I no salon, teras, emes, no salon, teras, no salon, no teras, emes, teras, ay, adidam, adidam, teras, nadidam, adidam. I've no salon, no teras, emes, I've haye elam, not am sechenu, elam, not am sechenu, haye,
not a besachenu,
besechenu, ay, adidam, 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 I've haye elam, not anot, besechenu. Ayo iftar lebeinu, beseiro seyo iftar lebeinu, seiro seyo iftar lebeinu, seiro se beseiros. Ay adidam adidam ay ay, adidam adidam. Kide ay 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 ay, ay 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 ay. Ay yosim lebeinu avose virose, avose virose. Avose virose virose, ay adidam adidam, adidam adidam. Ay vi yosem le beino, avose virose. Ay velas seis retzene, love de live of sholem, love de live of sholem, las seis retzene. I believe of sholem, adidam adidam. I velas seis retzene, ay you love de live of sholem. The Rabbi said, the Gemara says in Gittin, that the Rabbi once said to his children, Shanu mideisai, my dear disciples, children, learn from me. Shanu mideisai. What does that mean? So it is brought down that the Alter Rebbe once came in and he has found that the children were learning that Gemara, his children, maybe some of the Talmidim, and they were actually discussing what does that mean, Shanu mideisai. Does it mean that he's asking them, please, you should learn from my midos, or you should learn my Torah? So the Alter Rebbe said, as usual, he said everything, so he says, it is actually both the same. It cannot be one without the other. It cannot be Midas Tevis without Torah. And it cannot be Torah without Midas Tevis. So we have to know. We learn as the Ramban. The Ramban writes to his son, my son, and the famous Igeres Ramban. Whatever you learn, after you finish learning, you close the Sefer, think about it. Think a few minutes, what did I learn, and how can I bring it down in daily life? The Rebbe Rashab, the Rebbe, the Shver, said in the name of his father, my father, he said, he didn't like so much, I'm allowed to say it because we don't have misnagdim here. See, we all a group of Hasidim. A good as Hasidim here. I assume I could see on your forehead. Eventually you'll become like one of us. But the Alter Rebbe said, the Ramban says, whenever you learn, think about it. Yeah. So I'm started to tell you about the Rebbe Rashab. The son said, my father, he didn't like too much a misnagit. he didn't like too much. But even more so, he didn't like someone that learns Hasidus just for the philosophy of Hasidus. He learns because they are scholar of Hasidus. This he didn't like even more so. Because you have to bring it down what you learn. You learn something Hasidus, it has to purify you. It has to be to be shown in your midos and your behavior. That's what this is. So because now we have a lot, they have classes and courses they have in Hasidic Kabbalah, philosophy of Hasidut, or even more so Kabbalists. They called me up, maybe you could send me someone Kabbalist. We have a Kabbalist, Kabbalist. Yeah. I know a Kabbalist, someone who has a yad in Kabbalah, he knows how to take. And he puts, yeah. Rabbi Hanina ben Disa said, if he davens, in his davening is accepted, it's a Mishnah. Yediyah nishu mikubel. If not, he's a meturef. You give a look at the Mishnah. But you know about either a mikubel or a meturef, but that doesn't go like that. So it goes like that. Frag der misnagid badem chosid was is God, was is God. You understand a little English? He's asking, what? Tell me, what is God? And for the chosid dem misnagid Chamerdu, les marshovo tfisobei, les asar ponominei, les marshovo tfisobei, les asar ponominei, ailas kol hoiles, sibas kol asibes, les marshovo tfisobei, les asar ponominei, frag der misnagid, ba dem chosid, wo is God, wo is God, and for the chosid, dem misnagid, chamerdu, les asar ponominei, les marshovo tfisobei, les asar ponominei, les marshovo tfisobei, ailas kol hoiles, sibas kol asibes, les asar ponominei, les marshovo tfisobei. L'chaim.
Solchen sein die Geolle, solchen sein die Geolle, Moschia, solchen sein die Geolle, solchen sein die Geolle, Moschia, solchen kommen.
Kiriya ya.
Oh,
Ah, did I, ma did I didn't come here to make from you. If you are, make for your Lubavitcher Hasidim. God-fearing people, fine. And verstehen the Memes is good. But I'll tell you what, the Tzemach Tzedek said that any Hasidische Farbrengen has to be with Anigen, and has to be a Farbrengen from Sipuri Hasidim. That's part of the ingredients of a Farbrengen. So I'll tell you just a few Sipurim from the Rebbe. And sit nicht schatten. I assure you. First of all, on my block where I live, used to live Rav Gedalia Shor. You heard of Rav Gedalia Shor. I was in Tiravadas with him. You heard of Rav Gedalia Shor? Huh? No. Right now he moved. He's out of town. No, he says he's in Flatbush. Yeah, the Zoon. Oh, the Zoon is a Rodem Godel. Yeah. But the Rav Gedalia Shor himself, it was not a Verbrennter Lubavitcher Chosid, and when many times he criticized. It happened once that he came to Kronites and he said that he has to ask Mechila about the Lubavitcher Rebbe why. He said like this, that he has a friend, his Chaver's son, was married for many years. He unfortunately didn't have children, more than 10 years. He went to many Rabbonim, and he said, listen, that's the halacha. I mean, it's up to you, but after 10 years, it's up to you. But it just happens that by them it was a very nice family life, sholem bayis. It was a tragedy for them too. But many Rabbonim, they advise him, go ahead and do it. I mean, if you want, because you have to be Mekayim the mitzvah. No, another few years, unfortunately, divorced. The tragedy is even more so. After he divorced, a short while after, she sent him a message that she is pregnant. You heard me? So he was fella. And he came down. And he came down, so, but the tragedy was that he was a Kohen. The tragedy is a Kohen, and what could he do? And he went there and he went there and so, and then they said to him, listen, you don't lose anything. Go and take an advice from the Lubavitcher. Let's see what he has to say. He came Sunday by the dollars, and then when he passed by the Rebbe, and he told him the story, and he started to cry. And the Rebbe said to him, Speak to your mother. That's all. Speak to your mother. You know the story. Please. Speak to your mother. I speak to my mother 3 times a day. No, the Rabbi says so. So he came to his mother, he locked himself up, and his mother told him. When she heard that, and she heard what the Rabbi said, she became pale. He said, this was right after they got married, after the Holocaust and this, and they didn't have children, and then they decided that they're going to adopt. You should know that you are adopted. And we adopted you right from infant, from being an infant. It was a secret till now. No one knows about it. This is one story. Should I think about it? Yeah. Another story is that was a young man. We have him by us. So it's a Ungarischer Balabos came to the Rabbi once. He came to the Rabbi, but he went to the Rabbi's house, and he was waiting. They gave him such an advice. When the Rabbi is coming out, go and ask him for a bracha. Also for a bracha for children. The Rabbi came out, started to cry, and asked him for a bracha. And the Rabbi was already coming in a bracha like a huiz bracha, a shamesh. A bracha was standing and holding the car. And the bracha was the Eidos. He was witnessing it. And then he asked for a bracha and started to cry. And the Rabbi gave him a bracha. And then they said, only one. So the child would be lonely. He should have someone to play with, the Rabbi said. So they had twins. After years, many years, not many years, this bocher became a young man with a father, and he stays by the Ohel. And while he stays by the Ohel, he sees someone comes in with 2 kinderlach, with bar mitzvah kinderlach, and he asked them in Tamaymer, and he asked them, but he's not like a strict Lubavitch here. He's going as the uniform, like not like the Satimer, and but then he looks at him and says, very familiar. And then they realized this is the guy that he was holding the door, and the Rabbi gave him the book, and then they met. He could imagine what happened. That's the second. And then I had this winter by me in shul. I have a shul, I have a shas, and it came on Lithuanian, a Litvischer Godel. It was a long time by me in shul. We brought them there, we provided them with lunch with him. And he was sitting and learning. He came here because he has to make up a few dollars for it. Hasanas, one after the other. And then one day he comes over to me and he says, maybe I would like, and he is not from the Hasidim, not from the Farbrengen, the Hasidim. Take it in lightly. I'm blushing saying no. And he says, maybe you could tell me how do I would like to go to visit the Ohel. And then he said, I'll tell you something. I have a chaver, and he was in Eretz Yisrael, and he had a daughter, and Le'aleinu v'le'aleichem. The daughter became sick, Rahman al-Islam, with Yanem Machle. So here and there, and even though he was from the Litvische, from the Dos, but again, if you see there is no other eight, says they advised him Don't be a fool. Go and wait a minute. Wait, no, excuse me. This was already after Gimel Tammuz. After Gimel Tammuz. They advised him he should go to the oil. He came to the oil, and that's what he said. Crying. And he said, Rabbi, if it is Akzire, and if it is Bashert, he takes it upon himself. So he should be the Khalifosi. He should be the, understand? He is exchanging that himself. So, by the way, it happened that such a story happened that because the Rabbi once came in a mother with children and the mother was sick and the Rabbi called in one of the children, small child. Do you know what the Deutschen did to the Eden? He asked the child about 5 years, 6 years. Did you hear what they did to the Eden? So, child was no, what should answer? So then the Rabbi said, not, talking genug Deutschen. Let the Deutsch be a kapura for your mother. And Baruch Hashem. So, but what he did it on his own. He stays by the oil and he says, and he came back home, and Baruch Hashem is going better and better. But after a certain time, he became sick. That's what he said. Eventually, we make a happy ending, but he went again, and genommen upon himself. He wasn't so frum, he took upon himself, and then it went away from him. But we see actually what it means, Emunas Tzadikim. So in schus of the being kosher, verbunden in Ilone de Chaye, so then when he kosher, kuladovuk, atem adveikim, so his schus of the tzadikim, his schus of the rabbeim should be making anas and Klal Yisrael. Amen. Ki ayol tarei galafikem moy ay ke nafshi sarek elecho elekim ay tzomo nafshi elekim elekim ay mozayo beyo amene elekim ay mozayo beyo ay ki ayol tarei galafike ay ke nafshi sarek elecho elekim ay tzomo nafshi lelekim hoylekim ay mozayo veyero ay mozayo veyero ki ayol tarei galafike ki nafshi sarek elecho elekim ki ayol tarei galafike ay ki nafshi sarek elecho elekim ay tzomo nafshi elekim ay mozayo veyero ay penesh elekim ay mozayo veyero penesh elekim ay Was lag bij me? Ja. Ja. Ah. Ja, sorry. Hey, Tomo, 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 Tomo lechova v'nafshi. Koma, 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 koma lechova b'zori. Hey, Tomo, 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 Tomo lechova v'nafshi. Koma, 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 koma. Ayerti durin markat. Na ya markat. Ne prodajes, ne prodajes. Dolgaro bishmarko. Ayerti durin markat. Diedes na ya markat. Ne prodajes, ne prodajes. Dolgaro bishmarko. Ayda, ayda, ayam, ayay. Dam ay 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 da di di da ma ya da di di da ma ya da da ma ya ya di da ay 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 di di da ay da 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 ma ya ya di da ay ay diri da hey diri makat dunya ya yo la dolga misna go verte durin makat diedes na ya marko vayes ne prodaj. Let me give you a little explanation on this. This song is not exactly in English. What does that mean? Maybe you heard, but I'll give you a little explanation. This song says, there are many tzaddikim, they were singing songs, the Kalaver Rebbe, the Talmidei Baal Shem Tov, where they picked up, Lahitzi Yokor Mizelel. This is the song, it says, hey, you fool! You fool, you are a merchant, but you are a nourisher merchant. You are turning around here in the marketplace. You go here, you go there, but you don't buy, you don't sell anything. What do we need you for? Do you understand? You understand the Nimshul? This Ilam Hazeh is a marketplace. And this is a business. The Rebbe Marash says, that the Rebbeinu Shel Olam made a business, and it is a risky business. You hear? It's an investment. Many of you are sochrim, and you know, the riskier the investment, the higher the interest. So sometimes, but the risk is great. But still, it is worthwhile. Why is it worthwhile? Because the reward is great. You understand? The Hefset and the Revach. So the Rabbinish, because Kol Adrochim, when the Rabbinish Shalom sends down on Neshomim, he knows Kol Adrochim Becheska Sakone. But in case the Neshomim would have Seichel, and in case the Neshomim would know how to act for the lifetime given to that Neshomim, the visa she gets, so then the reward is great. And later on, look, young killer, we knew all the nisyenes that you had. It is not so easy. This generation, the nisyenes are even greater than they were many generations ago. They didn't have, in time of the Alter Rebbe, they didn't have a smartphone. They didn't have a website. You understand? So the Nisyenes are great. And because the Nisyenes are great, it's taken consideration. The reward is greater. But they say, so you merchant, you were sent on, and you are here already. Have seichel. Time is running. Larichas yomim for longevity, but time is running. And everyone should have larichas yomim shonim teus. Everyone has a visa. And as the Rabbi says, brings down the posik yomim yutzoru, but it is for a short time, even 100 years, but it's up to this time. That's it. So chapara in the Zeit. Every mitzvah that you do, the malochim are bekane you. You understand? So this is the song. Ereti dorin marka doti yedishna yarmarko ni kopla yesh ni pro tolka Rabbi shvarku ereti dorin marka doti yedishna yarmarko ni kopla yesh ni pro da yesh tolka Rabbi shvarku tireda ay tireda damai ay tireda ay ay da di di da may da la may di di da dam ay da di 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 may ay may di di ay di di dim Hey da di di may di di may di di Nijoritze Chlopzi means, this is not in Hungarian, this is in Ukrainish. It says, not Russia, it's in Ukrainish. Don't worry. We'll come. This is Hasidim used to sing, it was a schlep from their place till they come to the Rebbe. They didn't go on jets. They didn't go on planes. Mit geschleppt mit Pferdlach. And sometimes you know many stories with the great Rebbes, when they flying gehen zu Fuß. Emes. Wir vielleicht gehen zu der Rabbeim zu Fuß. Wie mit geschleppt. Winter, Sommer. And then flying they singen, don't worry. Eventually we will come to the place And over there we'll take a little vodka. What's the vodka? We'll take mashke. He calls on me the chulamayim. They say that by the Rashbi. So they came once to the Rashbi and they asked for rain. The Gemara tells us that they came to the Chayne Amagol in the Gemara in Tainis and they asked for rain. No, Chayne Amagol, you know why you call him Chayne Amagol? He made a circle and he said, Rabbeinu Shalom, I'm not stepping out from here. And he said, it's you, look, that you are choni. Someone else told me they're lying to mashkante for such words. They talk, you're giving an ultimatum to the Rabbeinu Shalom. But you are like a son to a father. No, what will you do? So he brought down rain through prayer, through tefillah. The Rashbi, they came to the Rashbi, he sat down, and he started to say Maimer in the Zohar, and the posuk Hine Mati V'Manoyim, and started to rain. Which means he brought down the Ashpoes through Teireh. Into what? Through Avas Yisrael. Hine Mati V'Manoyim Aishev Esachim Gam Yochad Hine Mati Umanoim Aishev Esachim Yaderada Yaderada Kireda Hayya Nanam Kireda Hayya Yanan Kireda Hayya Kireda Hayya Yanan Oh ya didi ma yada Didi ma yada yadi Ya didi ma yada Didi ma yada O yene mate Ayumanoyi O shevezar O gam yobogav O yene mate Ayumanoyim O shevezar Yadarada Kireda Hayya Hey Nanam Kireda Hayyam Kireda Hayyam Hayyam Kireda Hayyam Ya didi ma yana Ya didi ma yada Gam yochad Hine mate v'manoyim Evesachim Oy yachim gam yochad Hine mate v'manoyim Evesachim Oy yachim gam yochad Ay Evesachim achim gam yochad Hine mate Evesachim achim gam yochad Didi yada didi dam, didi dam, didi dam, ya didi dam, didi dam, ya didi dam, didi, ya didi, didi da ya didi dim, didi da ya didi dim. Didi dam, didi dam, didi dam, didi dam, didi dam, didi dam, ay didi Ma yidi mo. Ay 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 ay. Ya di.
La 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 la.
Essen, Essach, trinken, Trinksach, es kommt zum Davenen, es davent sich nicht. Ei, Essen, Essach, schlafen, Schlafsach, es kommt zum Lernen, es lernt sich nicht. Essen, Essach, trinken, Trinksach, es kommt zum Lernen, es lernt sich nicht. Essen, Essach,
Essen, Kegel.
Didi da 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 yedam. Didi ya da da yedam. Ay 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 yam. Ay da da. Ay 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 yam. Ay 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 yam. Ay da da. Ay 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 yedam. Ay 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 yedam. Didi da ya ya yam. Ay 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 yam. Ay 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 yam. Oy da da. Didi da ya ya yam. Ay ay ay. Didi da da ya da. Didi da 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 ya da. Mama mama. Mama ay 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 yam. It was the first years of the Rabbi's Nesias in 1952, when the Rabbi was Farbrengen, and when he started to sing this song, was he crying? Was he crying with Moe Sholish? As come zum Daven, you hear, I would like you to hear. I'm sorry that I interrupt you in the middle. You forgive me? So, could you imagine the Rebbe was crying that is Damzer? We don't cry that is Damzer nicht. We feel ganz comfortable bei uns. Sie geht rein, also mit die Sachen, und sie niedergeboren, Kirbano, und sie zufrieden. The Rebbe was worrying that he eats. Could you imagine the Rebbe's eating, how much he is eating? And he was crying, Essen, Essach, Trinken, Trinksach. Es kommt zum Daven. And then the Rebbe explained in the middle of the Farbrengen. He explained that sometimes it means that we learn Teire is Essen, Teire is Lechem, Teire is Mayim, es Essach. Wir lernen, Tag gelernt, Aporblatt gemorren. They say that by the Chassam Sefer had a Talmud, Goyen. And once the Chassam Sefer saw him in the street, he said, "Het, ik ben op Sazeyo." He said, "Shloime, wie viel Blatt Gemorre hast du gelernt? How many Blatt Gemorre did you learn?" So he said, "Rebbe, about 7 Blatt Gemorre." So he said, "For 7 Blatt Gemorre, you're going like this? Like, how many Blatt Gemorre you have to learn that you should remove your head completely?" Do you understand? But you learn, but you see what? The Alter Rebbe, someone came to the Alter Rebbe, and he said, "Alter Rebbe, sie war mir a Simche Rebbe. Ich hab euch gelernt Schass." So, was hat der Schass dir euch gelernt? You all know that, right? So that's what the Rebbe said. Sometimes it's not the Ribsteaks mit der ganzen Geschichte, mit dem Hose Bescheik, mit der langen Teller, man macht da Galschel als Omes. No, but that's not a problem. Man redet ein bisschen even a higher level. Man lernt, aber sie kommt zum Peil, was? Was hat der Teire dir gelernt? You know, that someone came once to the Alter Rebbe, a Chosid, a Goyen, and the Alter Rebbe said to him, "Wir können sein a Boki Bishasu Poskim und sein a Ilon Srak." You understand? She'll say it again. Said you could be a great London, just not auf dem dann verstehen lernen ein bisschen Chassidus. Was ist Chassidus? Doch gelernt. Came to the Rebbe, I came to you with my son. And I gave him my brother, Rebbe, should become a Godel. So he said, I work on my Chassidim that we should be Ktanim. And you want it should be a Godel. So you understand. He said, you could learn and have Boki beside. Aid has to be poil, and not that Alter Rebbe explained to him. He pinpointed him. Aid has to have the koach to be mashpi on another fellow Aid. Then you are Ilon Eseperes. Otherwise, all for yourself, al tzadik in pelts. Ilon Srak. You understand? So sometimes you ask and ask rest. I mean, we learn. But what the Teire? The Teire darf machen Peres. What did it pay on you? Gelernt hast getrunken. Chassidus, Yayin, Mayim, Shemen. Did you daven better? Is it kentig on your davening? Is it kentig on your learning? This is the problem. You understand? So that's why it's that when the Rabbi was singing, you would see the Rabbi singing that song. So then you would think, hey, wait, I think it's to spoil our appetite. It wouldn't get the Essen, but you nicht gehen als ich glattig. Essen, esst, trinken, trinkt, es kommt zum Lernen, es lernt auch nicht. Essen, esst, trinken, trinkt, es kommt zum Davenen, es dampft auch nicht. Essen, esst, trinken, trinkt, es kommt zum Lernen, es lernt auch nicht. Es kommt, es essen, es trinken, trinkt. Es kommt zum Daunen, es dampft auch nicht. Da, 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 ay, da, da. Ay, da, da, ya, ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Da, da, ya, 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 ay, ay. Da, ya, 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 moy, da, da. Da, ya, ya, ay. Da, 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 ya, da. אפשר מזינגן די ניגונים? די ניגונים,
Welche Nigun?
די ניגונים בעל שם, די דרei. Sie drei lassen nicht gerät auf dem.
Was da? Ja, ich bin mit Zivat auch nicht mit den Nigunen.
Aber du weißt. Ay da da, dire da da da, dire da ya da da, dire da da, dire da.
Drei Bobbins?
Nein, Baal Shem Tov. Drei, ja. Dire ya da 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 ya da, da 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 ya da, dire da ya na na na, no dire da. Did ya da da da, ah did da da, ah da da da, ya da da da, ya da da, did ya na na na, did ya da da, ah did da, did ya da da, ya did da. Ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da, did ya na na na, did ya da da da, oh did da da, oh did ya da da da, oh you na na na, oh. Did ya da da da, ah did da da, ah da da da, ah did da da, ah da 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 da, ah da 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 da, did da na na na. Keliyato v'yodeko Elokai haroi memeko Keliyato v'yodeko Elokai haroi memeko Hai Keliyato v'yodeko Eloika haroi memeko Ay Keliyato v'yodeko El kayaroi memeko Tididai Du kennst den nicht gut nicht? Help, tag ich so Ja, de dama Ay, ya, oy Tididai, ya, Ay, da, dum Tididai, dum Tididai, dum Tididai, dum Ay, da 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 di da da di da da di 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 da hey da da di da di da di da dum di dum di dum di dum di dum ay da di da dum mai di 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 mai di dum di dum di dum ay da dum hum di dum di dum di dum ay da di ay ay di di mam ya na 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 di di dam di ya di ma di no ay di dam ay dam ay da dam ay di dam ay dam ay na na ma ay ya oh ya na di da da di da di da di da da di da di dam hey ya da di da Yimin Hashem Beimimo Yimin Hashem Yimin Hashem Beimimo Yimin Hashem Tirda hayya Tirda hayya
Thank you very much.
You're not getting filtered water. It's not about the decision. This is 3 bottles of filtered, 1 is mixed. I don't know if this is one of them.
Ya da huh?
Not getting filtered water.
Da.
You want matzahs?
Oh, German. Ah? Oh, ja, da. Bist du doch hier? Oh, ja, da.
Lass uns verspäten. Ich kann nicht.
Ja, wir gehen als jeder von der Rabbi.
Ja.
Oh, ja, da. ay ay didim, ay 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 mama mama, did ay 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 da da da, ay 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 na na, ay da da ay do. Ayda 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 da da ayda da da ayda da da ayda da da ayda da ayda ayda ay 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 ayda ayda da ayda ah, did I da da mama mama ay ya 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 ay ya 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 oh ay ya 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 ay la da ay ya mama mama ay da 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 did I da ay ya da ay ya da ya ya ay ya 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 ay ya ya ay ay بينني ها ليش مزينا بينني دو بينني بس اه مين ده بيس بيجي كنا بينني ايه بنا بينني هاي يا يا ay 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 da 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 ma ay 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 ya da da do ya da did I die ay da da my did I die ay da ya da ma ay ya my da da ma da ay da ma da oh da da ma ay da di da oi di da ma da oh you die di da my da di ay ya di my did ay da my da did I did my da I did I did my da ya na I did it I my ya oh na my did it I my na I did it I my ya I na mo oh mom oh you know da di da Adidam, Adidam, hey, Yeda, Yeda, da di da di da di da dam. Ya hato v'chartonu mikol ho'amim. O hafto eisonu, rotzi sabonu, ayvirei mamtonu, mikol al-shenes, v'kidashtonu, v'mitzveisecho, v'kei ravtonu, malkeinu lavidosecho, ay v'shimcho agodil v'akodesh, oleinu koroso. Atto, atto v'chartonu, atto, atto v'chartonu, ay mikolo am, ay you have to isonu, have to isonu, v'rotzi sabonu, v'rei mamton, gol al shein, ki dashtonu mitzvisecho, v'rei mamtonu, gol al shein, ki dashtonu mitzvisecho, oy v'kei ravtonu malkeinu lavidos. Malkeinu lavidos. Oy v'shimcho agodil, godil v'yakodesh. Ay aleinu, aleinu koroso. V'shimcho agodil, agodil v'yakodesh. Ay aleinu, aleinu. Yay, 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 madin. Hay dirini, madida, maydiri. Nu. Rabbi Tauber, nu, ירוצן שיפעלו הדבורים בי ובי השמים. חיים לחיים.
חיים לחיים.
Nur wir können schon Menschen. Ja, sie weisen alle auf den Zehner sicher mehr. Ah? Aber der Rehler mal hält sich.
Ay 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 dirayam ay 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 dirayam ay 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 dirayam ay 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 dirayam ay ay dirayam ay 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 dirayam ay 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 dirayam ay 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 dirayam ay 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 dirayam ay ay dirayam ay 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 dirayam
Ay ya may diridam. Ya ya diridam. Chodesh Iyar. All right, we'll try to conclude, and I hope that everything you will digest what we have said today, and it will be good results. But regarding Chodesh Iyar, by the way, it says in a Sefer Nefesh Sufim, and it says also from Baba Sali, saying that on Chodesh Iyar, when you see rain are coming down, rain, it is a special schooler. Try to open your mouth and get a few drops. That's what it says there. Take off your head, bleib in the yam, okay, and wet your hair from the rain. It is a special schooler. But in the meantime, open your mouth and hear some words of Yisrael. Yeah. But Iyar is an abbreviation. Here is an abbreviation, Ani Hashem Reifecho, a special Chaydish Gula. The Rebbe writes in letters. Some people who need a refuah, he said it is known. He says in Bnei Yisachar, writes lengthily about it, that here is a special Chaydish of refuahs. The Gemara says there are many kind leolenu chalasen. Ve'ishiv Hashem kol madvi Mitzrayim. And the Gemara in Am Kabul is clearing what are the madvi Mitzrayim. So there is, Rav says, one of the madvi Mitzrayim is Ra Ayin. Oy, oy, oy. There's a person who has an evil eye. And everyone, he looks with the left eye. The Rebbe Rashab, the Rebbe Rayatz, asked when he was a kid, Rebbe, Tati, how come the Rebbeinu Shalom created two eyes, one mouth, and could you imagine if he would create two mouths? But he said, one mouth, and this one mouth that he created it with two gates. With a gate of bones, and a gate of, and a steel. But anyway, he says, two eyes. So the Rebbe said, you know why two eyes? An ice cream and a candy, you look with your left eye. But an eye, Eden, look with your right eye. This is the way it should be. But it's not always like that. So sometimes we look, there are some people, they have to work on themselves. Always on someone else he looks with a left eye. He always has something to say. Always a criticism. Always what someone else has is too much. Always what he has is too little. Rav says, that's a chalas. Yeah, you have to get rid of it. Ani Hashem Rifero. Shmuel says, give a look at the Gemara. Don't trust me. Shmuel says, Ruach. This is a wind. What is the pshat of wind? The Rebbe writes in first Perik of Tanim, Heileles, Litzones, Ispoires, Dvorim Betelim, this comes from wind. So no Yisod, no foundation. And he says, what does it mean? In Avodas Hashem, a person with no Yisod, no foundation. Wherever he comes, he goes according to the Svive. There was once a rabbinical, a deutsche rabbiner, with a Kommensberdel. He came among Hasidim, he was sitting like this. He came among the Chevre Zeiref, like this Nazei. He wants to please everyone. But it says, a man davor must tell. You understand? As it says in the beginning of Shulchan Aruch, you have to have a strong, a firm, and you should be assembled for other people. Rabbi says, you know what Madve Mitzrayim means? Madve Mitzrayim means tzino, cold, cold. The Baal Shem Tov once went with his Talmidim on a winter day in Russia. And then they passed by a river, and they gave a look, and they saw on the river, it's engraved at Salem. You know, Salem across. So the Baal Shem Tov says, Chevre, do you see what I see? Water is metayir all the tume shebe'elam. But if it is frozen, you could make a Salem out of it. What does it mean? Aid of sein Varim. Hashem Elekero Eish. Tira says, fire. Amalek is cold. There's some eating fine. Lernt, damt, braucht is cold. Ona neshome. Pnimis ha-Teire is called the neshome of the Teire. Nishmos of the Reise. It has to be with achayis. Mitzvah b'lei kavone is guf b'lei neshome. So you understand? So there are many chaloyim that has to be, we need a refuah. And that's why when we say in the Broch of Shemoneh Esrei, Refueinu Hashem v'neirofe, and the Rebbe is asking in Amayim Chasidus, why are we saying, some people they are gesund wie a bear, and he still says the Broch Refueinu, and he makes up mit a Boshem, Baruch Atu Hashem, You, Baruch Hashem, don't need a refuah, but everything is about you excellent. Gesund v'atoter. Why are you making that bracha? Because there is a refuah saguf and there is a refuah sanefesh. Huh? That's the Nochazach. The wallet. No, what is? When you have a complete refuah of what we mentioned before, so it's the wallet is auseinander. So you look different on your wallet. No, so right, that beside maskim, some parnose ba'chove, but you should know what to do with the parnose. You should know what is priority. Moment, geld could put a person on his feet, and it could put him in the ground. You understand? You have to know how to use the moment. You understand? So, sulam, moment. It goes on top and it goes on the bottom. So, Ben Yisrael should give us seichel, he should give us moment, but he should give us seichel how to use the moment. So anyway, so that's the reason of Chedesh here. Now it's a special Chedesh. Look, Rabbi Yisrael, the gist refuahs, you should give a refuah. You should give all the chaloim who need a refuah, should have a refuah. And the rest of us should have a refuah sanefesh. So we should have a refuah sanefesh and a refuah saguf. And I'll tell you a secret, the entire Golus is considered a machle. The Golus is a machle. It's a meisili povio golusi. Cholisi, it says, I'm sick from the Golus. The Neshom cries out. So the Ben Yisrael should send email for all. Enough is enough. So schicken a refuah and bringen a Yeshua. So we should have a Yeshua for Klal Yisrael. Gedai Rab Shimon Lismech Olov. We should come out with a Yeshua, with a Geula, and with a refuah. Chaim. Ya Sheikhem Yisrael,